Welcome to another episode of Getting to Know Greenville. I'm your local upstate Realtor, Beth Herbster, and in this series, we interview local businesses, charities, and leaders in the community. Today, we are here with Jack Kosmicki, otherwise known as Coach Koz. He is the athletic director and also the wrestling coach for Eastside High School. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good, thank you, Beth.
Good. You ready for school? It's in full swing, huh?
It is. It's started off and we're doing well.
Good. Why do you think it's important for kids to be involved in sports?
Sports are a great character builder. They teach lessons for life. You have to learn how to take adversity and still be successful and kind of just soldier on after you have difficulties in trying to achieve goals. But you also have to learn how to win. You want to be able to act like you've been there, so it teaches humility. There are a lot, just the list of intrinsic lessons that athletics or any activities outside of the classroom teach and instill in our kids is endless. But humility, perseverance, discipline, sacrifice, teamwork, interrelationship skills, all of those are really important.
Tell me a little bit about some of the sports programs that Eastside offers.
Eastside offers all the sports that are sanctioned by the South Carolina High School League. So we offer all 24 sports that are possible. And we are very successful in all of them. Out of the past 5 years, 3 of those, we have been the top athletic department in the state in terms of success. One of those 2 years was the COVID year, but we were leading when they canceled everything, so we count that as a win too. So we're really 4 out of 5, and this past year we took 4th overall. So we really consider ourselves one of the top elite athletic departments in the state. We have phenomenal coaches, we have phenomenal kids, our facilities are top notch, our administration supports our coaches and their vision to success. So we're extremely lucky here at Eastside.
Well, that leads me to my next question. What are some of Eastside's top sports achievements? I know you guys have won several state championships.
Yeah, so in the past 3 years, we have won state championships in cross country, in girls swimming, in boys swimming, in girls soccer, boys soccer, in wrestling, in baseball, and then we've had a number of sports that have been right there in the conversation in the state semifinals that weren't those sports but were other sports. But our swimming programs have won 8 state championships in a row currently, and we have some girls that have already qualified for the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
We have a top-notch swimming program here at Eastside. It is the best in the state. Our wrestling program has had a lot of success. They've won 18 state championships since 2000.
Oh, wow.
And we've been fortunate to be successful there as well. But all those other sports that I mentioned, our soccers have been in the finals more times than I can count, and they've won a number of times. So it's and all of our other programs are phenomenal as well.
That's amazing.
I tell people about Eastside athletics and Eastside in general. We are everybody else's greener grass.
Yeah. Okay.
We're even our own greener grass.
Your own best competition. Huh? What is your coaching philosophy as a coach? Because you're the coach for the wrestling team.
For the wrestling program. Okay. It's pretty simple. I mean, we set goals, and we set short-term goals, and we set long-term goals, which is another valuable lesson that our athletes learn is how to set goals. Our approach every day, at least in our wrestling room, is just walk out a little bit better than you walked in. Nice. We don't care about winning or losing.
So personal best.
We just care about getting better, wrestling right, not being sloppy, tightening things up. Mm-hmm. You're not going to catch heat from losing a match. You're going to catch heat for wrestling bad, but you're not going to catch heat for losing a match. You might catch heat for winning, but being sloppy. So it's all about getting better, and preparing for that postseason.
Well, it goes back to humility, like you mentioned earlier. Just because you win the match didn't mean you did your best.
And we also make our regular season 10 times harder than the playoffs could ever be. I mean, as you know, we're in Delaware, we're in Pittsburgh.
You guys travel a lot.
We're in Nashville. We're in a hotel room every weekend, and we have other sports that are starting to get on board with that philosophy. Our girls basketball program is starting to take that philosophy. Our baseball, our soccer's about just getting at our boys basketball for the first time this year is going out of state to a big tournament.
Oh, wow.
Just for the competition, just to, again, drive back home to little old Taylor, South Carolina, better than when you drove up.
Yep. What, if I was an athlete for you, what could I expect from you as a coach?
High standards.
Okay.
Just everything is no cutting corners. Just do everything right. Don't need it fast.
As you were trained.
Yeah. Do what you know really well.
Okay.
It's just we're perfectionists. Everything's technical. We expect confidence too.
So other than sports, how are you involved with your students?
I help out with the student government, a lot of the other organizations here. I help out with our fine arts program, our band, whatever they need, I try to help them out with, whatever our student government needs for our homecoming or our Spirit Week events that are going on. I try to help them out and get involved. Try to make sure that I make some of the concerts that are here and just be seen and be a part of it, because it's a lot more, even though athletics is usually what's in the newspaper for any school, there's a lot more behind when you walk through the front doors of the school. There's a lot more that goes on here than just athletics. That's at the top of the state. And I like to be involved and give my support to that as well.
So how do you manage playing time or match time?
So in most cases, your best athletes, I mean, a lot of people have a lot invested in here. So you put your best athletes out there in sports like track, and swimming, and golf, cross country, and wrestling. It's pretty easy to decide who's your starter and who's your not. Your fastest kids are your starters in track, in swimming. Your highest jumpers in pole, in pole vault and high jump. It's really easy. In sports like soccer and football, it's a little bit more up to the coaches, but we still want our best players out there. Now, if a game or a match gets out of, it gets out of control to where if there's a large margin of victory going on, then you want to give other kids opportunity to play as well later in the game or in the match. That way they can get some time, because usually they're not starting because they're younger. So you're preparing them for down the road.
Yeah, okay. How does it make you feel to know that you're representing your community?
I love representing. I wear Eastside. I mean,
you can't go to the grocery store without somebody knowing who you are.
I wear Eastside on almost all my clothes have Eastside on. I'm very proud to represent Eastside. Eastside's a little bit different because it's not defined by a municipality. It's not one town, one school. I mean, we sit on the corner where 3 different municipalities, Greer, Greenville, and Taylor's, all come into one intersection. And so we're kind of defined by the people and the personalities that the people have here at Eastside, and that is kind of our own little unofficial municipality. We have a lot of diversity, a lot of inclusion, and we're really proud of how kids love to come here every day, how people love to come to work here every day. My wife says, it's nauseating. Every morning he gets up, he clicks his heels 3 times,
to go to work,
and runs off to work. And it's true. I mean, I love my job. I've got the best job in the world at the best place in the world.
That's amazing. What message do you have for your players or your athletes who are representing their community at Eastside?
Remember the name that's on the jersey. You want people get an impression of the school and indirectly impression of the people in the community by how you act on a field or on a court or on a map
Not
or on a
just here,
baseball diamond.
but at other schools
all
you
over
guys
the state.
travel.
So just remember, if you lose well. If you win well. There's a message sent without speaking out there about the people here at Eastside, about you, about your family, about the community. So we push really hard for kids to remember that it's a lot more. It's more about other people, a bigger picture, than it is just about you and your disappointment from a loss or your celebration that's way over the top and unsportsmanlike on a win.
Yeah, my mom used to say, remember who you are and where you come from. What is your approach to college recruiting?
All our coaches are well-versed in the recruiting process.
Okay.
Myself and our guidance counselor, Todd Costanza, the two of us run a NCAA recruiting workshop once a semester, so twice a year, for parents and athletes to come in. Mr. Costanza goes through all the paperwork and the eligibility side with your NCAA Eligibility Center and account, getting that set up and what they need to do every year to keep it up to date. And then I go through the recruiting process, the do's and don'ts for kids, and then the don'ts for parents. Not many do's for parents. Parents will, more often than not,
it up.
they will turn a coach off. And very, very, very rarely will a parent sell a kid to a coach who's on the fence on getting a scholarship or not. The big point that we put out there is that if your kid wants to compete in college, there is a college out there that you can compete for. It does not have to be Division I, SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12. It does not have to be that. It can be Division II, it can be Southern Conference, it can be NAIA, it can be Division III or JUCO. There's all kinds of programs all over the country. There are opportunities to continue your career in that particular sport in college if you want to do it.
Yeah. What is the most memorable game or match that you were a part of?
Probably the first state championship match we had in 2000.
Okay.
So
that was for wrestling.
For wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one here for the school for wrestling. My first one as a head coach. And that one is probably the most memorable. The first one always holds a special place in your heart. Absolutely. Now, it's no better than the other ones, right? Because it's always different teams, it's always different dynamics, different kids. But they, I'll tell you that one just sticks out in my mind because it was the first, and it was the closest.
So, how would you improve your athletic program? What's something that you guys could improve?
Right now, we're working on, as a department, we're working on people in the stands and how they treat officials. So we are calling it, it's a program that we've adopted calling bench bad behavior.
Okay.
Because there is a national shortage of officials, and if there's no officials, there are no sports.
Yeah.
And so right now, there's a huge rapid decline in officials. And so we are putting out this program, bench bad behavior, just to remind parents, remind students that are in the stands, these are people too, and they're making judgment calls. Look, this is a reflection on us.
Right.
Now, we've been pretty good in the past, but that's one area that I really want to improve on.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because they're human too, right? They get a lot of flack, I'm sure.
And they do, and they don't get paid very much.
Right.
But we've got some other areas. Our female sports and lifting program we're building. We have phenomenal weightlifting coach. His name is Justin Hoffman, and he's won national awards for his development of the female athlete only weightlifting program.
Oh wow!
So we're just now starting to see the fruits of his labor.
Well, when is your next game? This weekend?
This Friday.
Okay.
7:30 at Eastside High School, 1300 Brushy Creek Road, and we will open up the season in football with Jailman High School.
Okay, awesome. And then people can check out the different sports schedules on the website.
Yes.
Eastside Athletics.
Our current website, EastsideEaglesAthletics.com, all one word. And then down the road, the district is starting to make us use a different platform.
Okay.
EastsideAthleticZone.com.
Okay, very cool.
If the Eastside Eagles Athletics doesn't work, then go to EastsideAthleticZone.com.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I am Beth Herbster, your local realtor in the Greenville upstate area. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, click, share, leave a comment for more information on Greenville, for more interviews from businesses, restaurants, and leaders in the community. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Go Eagles.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.